Greetings everyone, my name is Narjess and welcome to Link with OnLink. We're going to talk about the luxury outbound Russian travel market, and today our guest is Evgenia Komarova, the owner and general manager of Personne Travel Club. It's a boutique tour operator based in Moscow, Russia. They are true travel designers, members of Travelers Made, and focus on unique experiences. Evgenia is a mother of 3 kids. She's always on the road, creative and energetic. Welcome, Evgenia. Welcome, Evgenia.
Hello, lovely to see you. So unfortunately not so close, but so definitely. So this is the option. This is our life for today.
Option for sure. And I see you have a beautiful background in the countryside and on the coast.
Yeah, you see. Yeah, really Russian. So this is the stay home option as well, so just to come down, to relax, to think, and to stay out of the crowd, so that's the benefit, by the way.
That's good. So tell us, how are you spending your professional quarantine?
So first of all, of course, it is not very easy for me, and the decision was not very easy for the professional quarantine. But as everyone nowadays, especially in our business, so maybe we need this time, just to understand and to analyze a little bit, to prepare for the different future. So that's life as well.
For sure.
And so that is why we're trying to stay in touch with all our partners, with key hotels, of course, with the clients, because some clients are still not in our country. So we need to be in contact with them. And also we're doing the huge job to prepare for the season. We still believe that it will be very soon, so that is why we are translating a lot of information. We're trying to update and to update all our ideas which were not fulfilled. So that is why I have the part of the team which is still online and still on the working place. But of course, we are doing this on distance, unfortunately.
Yeah, definitely. We are all, I think, in the same thing. And definitely hard time for tourism. As I say, tourism is in coma in these difficult days. So talking about difficulties, so what's the most difficult decisions you had to make recently?
So I still remember this date because it was the 17th of March when I faced with the decision, and I had to together with the team and to explain that the difficult time is coming and we need to stay together, but we need to be on distance. With some people, unfortunately, so they went to the leave for a while, so they stay in the team, but they are not working very close now because I do not have, let's say, enough enough budget, let's say. As everyone. So that is why that was the most difficult decision which I faced on that date. So that's true.
Yeah, and that's interesting because I hear that quite often, because we feel certain attachment and responsibility to the team, and that's quite hard. But anyway, but it's good that you're spending a good, you're productively spending this time productively. And you mentioned that you are in touch with your clients regularly. So what's their mood in general, and more specifically their travel mood, if it's there?
Frankly speaking, so it is not very positive. I'm trying to check, let's say, every 2 days with different topics, with different emailings and with different calls, because I want to touch them and to understand their desire, so their wishes. And what I feel day by day, so they are not like, wow, so it will be opened and then we all together we go somewhere, so it is not like this. People do not understand the situation, so they are a little bit frightened because of the case, and most of them, they are out of their job, out of their business. So, and of course, so they are more feeling let's say this passion to go somewhere and to do something in the frames of their business and not I do not feel this desire, so just to leave everything and go somewhere. First of all, they do not have money, so what I feel, they need some time, and second, so they do not want to gather together very soon, so that is why so then later I would like to discuss, so with you, what I recommend, what could be the recommendations maybe from my side, and I feel that it still should be a little bit of isolation, but somewhere on the other shores, let's say.
Yeah.
So that is why the mood is like so, so they are more concentrated on themselves and on the situation which is happening right now, especially in our country.
Yes, yes. So basically, there is a lot of uncertainty, a lot of questions, and so it sounds like people are hungry for work, right? Right.
Yeah. Okay. Angry for work, angry for leave communications. They are very mad on this online things. Of course, it saves our life now, but that's quite difficult to be locked down, so and to stay only in your place with the limited people. Yeah.
And I think it's worth mentioning that Russia is still at the beginning of quarantine compared to many other countries like in Europe. So it's still relatively new. People are trying to get used to that and adjust accordingly. A lot of questions still. So not enough guidance maybe even at level.
Agree.
So I guess it's a bit of early stages. So we'll see how this will develop, and things change quite fast. So talking about developments, you mentioned that you'll be talking about the future. And so how do you see from your professional point of view the travel trend in the future?
Quite difficult again, so because we cannot predict the trends, so we can, as for sure, I'm sure that everything what is online, on distance, so it will be on pause. So that's for me, so I'm trying to rely on my feelings and on the feelings of my clients, so, and I think so this online thing, so it will be not on what I feel, not on the very popular, let's say. So what I feel that the people will, the clients will travel more to the isolated places, because, so just to switch off from this terrible situation around this virus, so you cannot just in one day forget, so you still will wash your hands, you still, so this is unconsciousness, so you will still follow, so to do some things as you did all this every day, so all this everyday routine. So that is why when the frontiers will be opened, I feel that they will be still trying to find very safe places. So that is why in my list will be the countries which are safe, which are thinking of the clients, so which are thinking about all precautions which could be done. And definitely I feel that they would not love to stay in in the hotel with 1,000 rooms. Even 200 is too much.
So more of boutique, small hotels, right?
Yeah, more boutique, more maybe even private islands, big private villas, some big spaces where they can continue, so to live with themselves, but in more comfort zone, so be on the beach. Definitely they need sun, they want the fresh air, because not everyone has this kind of background, so most of them,
in some gray cities,
so that's what I feel. They really want to have fresh air. So this is the trend, so to go somewhere with the sun, isolated in a private space, let's say.
So I guess the Indian Ocean was definitely on the list, and Maldives, knowing that that's popular in the market. Okay.
Yes.
So since we're talking about the online trend, and we also know about the online trend in the travel industry that has been, even in Russia specifically in this case, growing slowly, but growing. So do you think this trend will accelerate if we're talking about luxury tourism or luxury travel, or do you think the clients will stick to travel agencies?
So of course, it is bad to say that thanks to these circumstances, but, so that's true. Now our clients, not our clients, a lot of people who were traveling worldwide and who were doing their online reservations, they faced with this situation that they do not have the contact on the other side, so they need and they had to settle all the questions with the refund, with the possible changes of dates, with the ticket cancellations, and they cannot overcome this. They still do not understand what to do. Very often they even do not have the feedback from the other hand, so they do not understand where to find this feedback. So that is why, of course, in this case, our clients, the clients who are sticking to this cooperation with the travel agencies, luxury travel agencies, and luxury tour operators, so they are more safe because they have their private manager. So 24 hours online, so they can ask any questions, we can change any dates, and so they faced with this because we did this 24 hours, day and night. So, and we were struggling for them, so for the last seat in the plane from Maldives, let's say.
Yeah, and you have that experience.
Yeah, so to enter Thailand, so with this test for the virus, so of course we faced all this as if we were traveling. So that is why our clients, they would definitely, and I think this is the trend to go to the private travel designers, to the travel companies. Of course, I'm more for travel companies and tour operators because it is good when your client have all the documentations, all the licenses, all the guarantees, so because we are paying a lot of money and they need to understand for what we are paying, so and what they receive at the end. So that is why I'm definitely for the luxury travel business and private, let's say, private designers, tour operators, which can handle with the clients.
Yes, and that's true. I know many agencies reported that a lot of their clients who got stuck outside the country, they ended up all calling their old, travel agents to help them with, either with booking another hotel or coming back home.
Yeah. And also we have our connections are more close because I know a lot of general managers, I know key people, and of course in this case, so all the clients, they understood that really we have the power, so not the power to convince them, so and the power of the knowledge, so of the product. We also have the power to settle the questions, even financial questions. And frankly speaking, in this case, so I faced with the situation that in real life we have a lot of connections. You just need to concentrate, to think whom to touch, whom to connect, so because really we did very difficult cases, so but we overcome. I feel that we did a great job during that period. Yeah.
Well, talking about partners and hotels, how do you see your future collaborations with the hotels? How will it change? Will it remain the same? I know you work a lot with many hotels direct, and you use some depending on the state.
So many years ago, frankly speaking, 15 years ago, when I opened the company, so I had very strict rule for myself and for the team, to work only on direct. And for every year, so I'm proving myself, so that was the very important and correct decision, because really I do not like, and I will not work through with someone in between, so I love this contact one-to-one, so when I know whom, I know how, I know in what conditions, and then I can settle. As someone is appearing in between, so the difficulty is coming. For example, they are not working. A lot of travel companies, a lot of DMC companies, so they just do not working, so very often when you need some tailor-made thing to deliver, so they do not understand. So that is why my tendency will be the same, so we will Of course, we will pay more attention to the partners, to the existed partners whom we are working with, because we were in the difficult situation, and of course we need to support each other. So that is why I will continue cooperation with those partners who were with us in that difficult period. Definitely on direct, so if there is not possibility, so maybe that is not the correct partner. So that's what I feel. So that is why I am going on my way. I'm continuing to go on my way. Yeah, and of course we will talk a lot about new possibilities, maybe new private offers for my clients and for my company, so which will be specially made and specially issued on the particular conditions, so for my clients, because that's important to select now key partners, not the whole world, but to key partners, and to concentrate on the product which, for example, you are delivering, because you have wonderful hotels, Six Senses hotels very close to me. So that is why we need to think what we can do together, so, and to think about unique product for my clients. So that's important.
Yeah, and sure. I mean, you focus mainly on the experience. And the one that delivered to them.
Experiential travel, more concentrated on the interests of the clients, more concentrated on the emotions, because at that period people, they are I think they want these emotions. They do not receive enough emotions, enough smiles, enough passion, so we need to give them, so this is the opportunity. To surprise, to entertain, so just to receive this smile at the end. So that will be I think this is the future.
Yeah. So, and any recommendations you can make to the hotels in terms of working with the Russian travelers and with the agencies like yourself?
I have a kind of diploma paper, I could say, because I have not a lot of time to think, so unfortunately, because I'm locked down, I have 3 kids, I need to cook, I need to be online with my partners, so everything together, it's kind of melting pot. But I really think a lot about future and business. And what could be the recommendations? First, of course, so what I feel, we cannot appear on the market with the very high rates, though I understand that the situation for the hotels, financial situation for the hotels will be very difficult. But I think we can, it is very important just to keep the rates, and maybe to make a kind of interesting offer for the clients, not just the 25% discount or something like this, but interesting in terms of financial and in terms of this feeling of the, of the offer. This is the kind of very usual thing, but we need to keep the rates attractive, so that's important, because the clients, they do not have enough money. So then what I feel as the tendency of this healthy way of life will follow, I feel that definitely the hotels need to pay attention to this medical part of the hotel,
wellness, right?
wellness, not only the wellness, maybe you will see, maybe the hotels will think to have the licensed medical staff, something like this, because that's important, because people faced with the situation, and it is very important when they feel a kind of guarantees of the people who can help at the place. And the first hotel who will do this, definitely the clients will ask whether you have the doctor at the place, whether he is the licensed doctor, what kind of the conditions at the place. So I think this is the important.
Especially if they're traveling with kids, how parents.
For sure, because before they were thinking, but it was not like the key question, because they understood that they take their medicines, they take everything from Russia, and they will stay safe. But now they faced with a different situation. They need emergency, so in some cases, and that is why you need to think about this, so doctor at the place, and maybe the special medical let's say room or something like this, so to have the clients there. That also, I think that of course this tendency to go to the private places. That's important. Big villas, isolated islands, some private islands program, you know, so something what is not connected with people. It will not appear very soon, you know, so to want to interact with other people, really. So that's what I
They
feel.
will continue keeping the distance.
Absolutely, you know, so but they need to have this, yeah, they need to have this distance in comfort zone. In their comfort zone, they if they are ready to pay, so they need to have maybe the special long-term loan for the long period, you know, so offer something like this, because with the family they would like to unite maybe with the friends, you know, so and to go all together and to stay in one circle. So that's important. Also, I'm thinking that it is very important, for example, for Six Senses hotels, because you have eat with Six Senses, sleep with Six Senses. Right. You need to make the program stay safe with Six Senses, you know, because here you need to create a kind of rules, you know, so what you are doing in the hotels in terms of all these sanitizers, you know, so what natural things you use, for example, from some viruses, from some dust, I don't know, something like this. Think what, and you need to show this and to share this, because if you have this stay safe, this is the hashtag which is of course very popular now.
Noted,
but stay safe with yeah stay safe with Six Senses.
Yeah, I have to tell you, sorry to interrupt. Evgenia is so creative. Evgenia is always creative. And by the way, I have to tell you, I know where your colleagues get it. They get it from you. So and you invite Evgenia. Expect like a list like that, a full report. We always receive it after any fantasy, which is very helpful.
Yeah.
So I highly recommend Evgenia. If you worked with her, you will know that.
Yeah. So this is by the way, this is the plan, you know. So we'll see who will be the first. So maybe Six Senses, you know. So that's I'm really ready, you know. I think that's the future, kind of for the company, for my company, you know. So also the other tendency. So we created, let's say, stay safe with Six Senses. So with all these possibilities for the clients, what they receive, then you need to create these special programs for all hotels. You know, for example, we create QR code, you know, that in China it is already existed. In Russia it is on the way, let's say. So we tried already, but you know, so if we create this QR code system with the client, for example, the client comes to Six Senses Laamo, let's say. We create this Six Senses code. It is very easy, by the way, and not very expensive, you know. So, and then staying there, we create the full program for every hotel, you know, so for him to go. For example, they have the kind of solar program with the Indian Ocean in Six Senses Laamo, where everything is recorded, what treatments they had, you know, so what food it was offered, especially to reach their health, you know, so with the solar, with the vitamin D, you know, so, and all these things. Then in this QR code, you know, in this program, we receive a kind of recommendations from the Vietnam hotel, let's say. They can go to Vietnam, for example, to enrich their immune system, and so on and so this. So like this, you know. So it means that we are working very close in the frames of one hotel chain, one brand, you know, so knowing a lot of things about the clients and improving and having different programs in every destination. For example, they go to Portugal and they have wine therapy, you know, it is very important, you know. So it is good to make this kind of, let's say, QR program with, you know, so with Six Senses, especially with my partners, because then we can do and implant and play with a lot of things, you know. So, and people now, they're ready for this. If before they were a little bit scared, now they're ready, you know, so for this. But we are doing the great job for the future travel, so knowing in details the clients. Well, so this is the other.
Yeah, I'm sure my colleagues from Six Senses will appreciate that. Thank you for that. And I know you are a big fan. But that's true. You mentioned an interesting point, because I know many hotels were implementing that in a way or another, maybe with apps or something like that. But many clients were not ready. Right now, it feels that, you know, as the world is changing, this is going to change a lot. So this would be maybe the new norm in a way. So
but you know, Narjess, what I feel also, it is very important to start this program starting with the let's say with the checkup, because if they enter the place, the destination, and if you make this checkup with the meeting with the doctor as the must, so trying to make a test, so that's important. Now this is the virus worldwide, so of course people will be safe if they come, for example, to the destination with the special results of the test, so then they enter the hotel, and still we have some, so we have a bit of blood of the client, we understand where to work, we understand how to work with this, with some diseases or something like this. Of course, I'm not talking about the clinic, but I'm talking of something more private, more personalized information, which we can use. And it is very important if they go, so this is good if you test them, so on the particular viruses maybe which they can have. So that is also the future of the travel business. So what I feel, a lot of things will be now concentrated on the health. Clients would love to have enough sleep from 11 till 7, so good food, all these immune things. So that is why you need to work very, very close to this. And
changing. Definitely. But well, thank you. Yeah, because that's, and I have to say it again, Evgenia, I know you've always that feeling, you can feel your clients, you can feel your needs. Their needs,
but with your help, we can go further, and we can go deeper, and we can help our clients, so to be healthy, to travel more, to show them the possibilities in the frames, even of the one hotel group. So that's important, so to educate them as well. So if they know more, they're trying more, so they will be more focused on themselves, and then they will have this desire and demand. So that is the truth for the now.
This trend has been growing very slowly in Russia and in Moscow, but we know recently all the the organic, the wellness has become more important and definitely again accelerated right now. And this is where the hotels can come with their offerings, based on the demand that's out there. Well,
agree.
Yeah, definitely, to keep listening, catching the
and a lot can come, so more. So that is why if you need any assistance, so I'm really on the way, so to build up the special program, so kind of travel expert program, so where I can help, because I know the Russian market, I know the Russian client, and I feel the kind of the desire. So, and I have a very good travel intuition, let's say, so and the psychological thing, so that is very important as well. I do not have the pink glasses, but I have the pink jacket, and then I can fly me to the moon. I can stay. So that is why if you're ready to fly together with me to the moon, we can do this.
Excellent. The moon with pink glasses. Okay. Well, that's great. Great, Evgenia. Great talking to you as always.
Thank you very much.
She's energetic and creative. I think she just proved it and shown it.
So please stay safe.
Thank you.
And if you need any assistance,
so just let me know. To your team, to the whole industry, and
of course,
then in touch. And
okay, thank you very much.
Contact details. If any hotels would like to reach out, connect.
Perfect. I'm here.
Yes. Well, thank you.
I'm still isolated, so I have a lot of things which is in my mind to share.
Excellent.
Nice.
Fantastic. Thank you once again, Evgenia.
Yes. Bye. Bye.